This is a great 30-page doc, and if you click on the hamburger menu, you see all of the pages, but here you see an easy to navigate page around, an easy way to navigate around this doc. Nice images, spacing in between, and it's not a spacing setting that does this. I've created an example here. So different columns in two different blocks on top of each other. Let's replace the image of the final column that I hadn't edited yet. You can see right now that the white spacing is irregular there, and we're going to make it equal by adding a border to this specific column. A white column, a white border, and each of the columns and each of the column backgrounds have their similar settings so that it's a nice tiling effect. Also style your button and your text, and it looks awesome. Some final tips from our designer boss. This is a doc that promotes the university to alumni, and they've added two very cool videos so that the viewers can click it and get a more of an impression of the campus. This is a background image or video, and it's a loop. So there is no sound here as opposed to the other videos, and it's very engaging. You're like captivated by it. First, let's add the background video. So change the setting of the background type to a video and select the video. A background video does not play on mobile and tablet, however, a GIF does. And lastly, do not forget to check the full height settings under general settings to cover your entire page. Now let's add a YouTube video. We're going to add the video element for that. Do not use the embed element because the video scales much better if you use the video element. If you don't have videos ready in your account, you can add them. Or if you don't have the rights, as I do in this example, feel free to ask the designers on your team. Use the spacing to make it sit on the page wherever you want it. And that way you can also make it as large or as small as you'd like. Two useful tips from Boss about the background video specifically. Two examples of GIFs. This one is another university, and they have a GIF on their page about student life. This is an energizing and enthusiastic GIF. Quite easy to make in a tool like GIF or Jiffy. And this is a very subtle one, and you got to pay attention to see it, but it does add some life to the page. Here we have a static image, and we're going to replace it for a GIF, so an animated image. GIFs do have a limitation of a maximum of 2 MB and are a bit harder to make yourself if you're less handy with tools, especially if you want to tell a story with your GIFs. You got to think about it carefully before asking a designer to do so. Now let's add a GIF to this page from scratch by dragging the image element onto the page, selecting the animated image that we want, and again, size it the way you want and make it sit wherever you want using the alignment settings. This is a great background video, but actually I'm here to show you this embedded SoundCloud fragment. It's a comment of one of the students of this university. It's only 12 seconds and thus very easy to listen to. The second example is how Foleon has embedded their Foleon headquarters into one of their documents, and Google Maps is very, very well embeddable. It's responsive, it has the full functions as you're used to on Google Maps. Here I've pre-added the HTML that I did get from Google Maps to show you how to add our Foleon office in New York to this Foleon Doc. It is much more that you can embed, but if you need to know how to find the embeddable code in each of the tools, the third party that you want to embed can give you that information. And also on our help pages, if you look for embed, you can find all the different articles that help you on how to embed LinkedIn and Facebook and so many other options. So definitely lots is possible here, but mobile and tablet view is really dependable on the third parties. Parallax, such a popular feature we get lots of questions about. This doc has a very cool window in their document, and it immediately triggers curiosity. But first, let's do a parallax window. In this block, I've deleted the additional elements. We don't need them. And now I'm selecting a horizontal image. There we go. It sticks right onto the page. It's not quite what we had in mind, so we're going to change the scroll speed. And that's what creates the parallax effect. No scroll is what we saw in the example. The image sits still on the background, but there is more possibilities. Normal scroll, slow scroll, even slower scroll. Play around with it because it depends a little bit on your image and the feeling of your document, what would work best. But they're really nice, a really nice option to play around with. Data elements are awesome to show statistics on a page. Here, they compare UK and Australia to each other. And this is the progress bar element. Here we see the counter element and the circle element. All of these three data elements can show one statistic only, and that's why you want to think about what do you want to show, and is this the right element? Drag the progress bar to your page. And I'm going to also duplicate this column so that I can create three data elements right next to each other. There we go, counter element and the circle element. Settings of all three are quite similar, so I'm going to show it to you of one in particular. You decide what values you want to use, and also if you want to make it, let's say, $1 or euro, or you can add a prefix or a suffix, whatever you like. You can also change the edits of what the data element looks like. You're able to change the colors, add round corners if you'd like, and change the thickness or the weight. Of course, you can follow your own brand guidelines to really make it fit into your own brand awareness. Here you decide how long you want the counter to take to be completed, and probably depending on the size of the number, one or the other will work better. And as you can see, the data elements all have similar settings to adjust them. Some great final tips from Bas.